In the past 2 weeks of January, a total of 8 settlements were successfully liberated, with over 300 square kilometers of territory coming under our control. The northern group of troops continues to execute its mandate to expand the security perimeter in the border regions of Ukraine's Sumy and Kharkov regions. We have now secured the liberation of Gorobovskoye and Komarovka. The tasks of the special military operation remain ongoing. The advance of combined forces is being conducted on almost all fronts, with a sustained offensive by various formations and military units. In the past 2 weeks of January, a total of 8 settlements were successfully liberated, with over 300 square kilometers of territory coming under our control. The northern group of troops continues to execute its mandate to expand the security perimeter in the border regions of Ukraine's Sumy and Kharkiv regions. We have now secured the liberation of Gorobovskoye and Komarovka. In the Kupiansk sector, the Western group's troops continue to dismantle enemy formations and eliminate armed forces resistance. The settlement of Podoli has been liberated. Street battles are ongoing, and the liberation of Kupiansk-Uzlovoy is nearing completion. After the liberation of Kupiansk last November, units from the Western group made several attempts to assert their presence in the city. These included attempts to install Ukrainian flags on administrative buildings using drones. Such actions have been halted. Additionally, the troops of the Western group are actively advancing in the Krasnoarmeysk direction. The Southern troop group, having liberated Seversk, is actively advancing westward towards Slavyansk. Intense fighting continues to dismantle the Ukrainian Armed Forces unit in Konstantinovka. The Eastern group, having completed the liberation of Gulaipole and crossed the Gaichur River, is pushing forward in the Zaporozhye region while also expanding the security zone around Dnipropetrovsk. Units of the Dnieper group are moving towards the city of Zaporozhye. The settlements of Belogorye and Novobaikovskoye have been liberated. The fiercest fighting took place in the area of responsibility of the central group of forces. Units and formations of the group, having completed the encirclement and destruction of the enemy and liberated Krasnoarmeysk and Dimitrov, are now advancing further to continue liberating the territory of the Donetsk People's Republic. The command of the Ukrainian armed forces is attempting to halt our advance by any means necessary, regardless of the losses incurred. However, thanks to the bravery and heroism of our soldiers and officers, the meticulous and well-coordinated efforts of the headquarters, and the confident leadership of subordinate units and commanders, these enemy plans have been thwarted. Today, as part of our briefing, we will review the results of the combat missions carried out by the formations and units of the central group of forces, and clarify the tasks and the next steps. Let's get started.
Ukraine's newly appointed defense minister, Mikhailo Fedorov, has told parliament that nearly 200,000 Ukrainian soldiers are absent without official leave, meaning they have abandoned their positions without authorization. At the same time, Fedorov disclosed that as many as 2 million Ukrainian citizens are now officially wanted for avoiding military service, a figure that lays bare the depth of strain inside a country fighting a prolonged and brutal war. The comments were delivered inside the Ukrainian parliament just hours before lawmakers confirmed Fedorov as the country's new defense chief, making him the youngest person ever to hold the role at just 34 years old. This is a crisis Kyiv can no longer keep quiet. For the first time since Russia's invasion, a senior Ukrainian official has revealed the true scale of Ukraine's manpower emergency, and the numbers are staggering. For years, rumors of collapsing morale, exhaustion, and rising desertion have circulated across Ukraine's front lines, but this marks the first time any official has publicly acknowledged the scale of the problem. Ukraine's armed forces remain locked in a grinding fight against a larger and better-equipped enemy, with troops often ordered to hold key positions despite being outmanned, outgunned, and stretched beyond their limits. Under Ukrainian law, all men aged 18 to 60 must register for military service, while those aged 25 to 60 are eligible for mobilization, and martial law prevents most men of fighting age from leaving the country. Despite those restrictions, tens of thousands have fled illegally, highlighting the growing gap between Kyiv's mobilization demands and public willingness to answer them. President Volodymyr Zelensky responded to Fedorov's remarks by acknowledging that broader changes are now needed to Ukraine's mobilization system, signaling potential reforms as the war drags into another year. Fedorov, who previously served as Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Digital Transformation, has argued that Ukraine's manpower crisis makes technological superiority not just an advantage, but a necessity. He pointed to Ukraine's rapidly expanding drone industry, revealing that more than 500 companies are now producing drones, alongside 200 firms developing electronic jamming equipment and over 20 private missile manufacturers. According to Fedorov, technology is now Ukraine's answer to shrinking troop numbers, insisting that more robots and more automation will reduce casualties and preserve lives on the battlefield. The defense chief's remarks came amid reports that Ukrainian fighters have vanished after being absorbed into the controversial Azov-linked Third Army Corps.
Times of India videos, your daily dose of India and the world. Global news, different views, and sharp analysis.
Pressure of expectation from your fans, your supporters.
That has often served as a backdrop for several Bollywood.
You're not a brute majority anymore. If you individually take out data.
Making sense of global conflicts. Tracking the new emerging world order.
Strike on Israeli military bases.
A multi-pronged.
To stay out of harm's way as Israel started bombing targets across.
Understanding changing alliances in a polarized world. Tune into TOI videos for all this and more. Click on the bell icon to subscribe and never miss an update.